Okay, we're back with Mr. Henry Noel, and he will be giving his website and sharing with us his 2 death experiences. Mr. Noel, your website, please.
Again, the website is www.henrygnoel.com. And you can write to me if you want to at henry@henrygnoel.com. I will reply to you, by the way. Talking about a death experience, and that is something that is rather near and dear to my heart. I was about 9 years old at the time. I had caught pneumonia, experienced 106.8 fever, and I passed on. Doctor couldn't do anything about it. I remember watching him talk to my mom from outside of everything. I heard them mention the word delirious. I was no longer in his hands. The doctor had given up and said that if I woke up in the morning, if I could wake up, I'd be fine. I remember around the room, I remember talking about the color gold, the sensation, the feeling of, I can use the word love, but it is absolutely ludicrous. That word doesn't even make any sense when you get into that capacity. The beings that were there, as I remember talking about them, they were loving, I guess, is about the closest we can come to it. But it was beyond all that. It was like every cell in your body was completely surrounded by love, and there was no pain, there was no thought. I was shown a world, again, using a terminology from us, of just pure love. And nothing that I could understand, even as a child at 9, made no sense here, because if this could really exist, then what am I doing here? Why was I here? And found myself very comfortable where I was. And then, in no uncertain terms, was told, you have a job to do. You will figure that out as you go along, and you're going to have to go back. I did. With this experience and the knowledge and the sensations, realizing that we were wrong. The way we see things on this planet and see each other are totally wrong. Understood that we were all children. We were all brothers and sisters.
Did you resist returning?
I didn't want to come back. I really did not want to come back. It was so far beyond any, I don't know, comfort. I don't know the terminology to use because it just fails you in our language. It just does not compute anymore. It was like, that's home. I was home. And all of the confidence, the security, the love that you sense at home was millionfold. There was just no way to really to really tell it. I died again when I was.
Wait. So when you were 9 years old, did you know what you would be returning to when you were told by your angels, your guides, that you had to return? Did you understand that?
I understood I was going back. I was going back into my body. I knew that.
And how did you feel about that?
I was upset about it. I did not feel comfortable with that, but that's what I was told to do. That was going to be my job, was to go back and do whatever it was I was supposed to do. Of course, I had no clue what that was going to be. That would come to me, so they said. I did return, and for a long time, a lot of animosity. I felt I was cheated.
As a 9-year-old?
As a 9-year-old. I was going to be a priest. I felt that would be one way I could find out what it was I was supposed to do, until I had a confrontation with a priest, and which was very interesting. I was going through my confirmation, and so we were in school to study, and this priest came into the room, manic, absolutely manic, and he rushed right through past the nun and looked around the room. I mean, manic. He was absolutely frantic. And he looked at me and he put his finger at me. He goes, "You." And I said, "Me? What? You know, what?" And he came over to my desk and got down on his knee and he put his finger right in my face and he said, You think the man at your house is your father. He is not your father. God is your father." Well, now I'm scared to death. I don't know what he's talking about. And I said, "I'm sorry, Father." "Well, what?" And he said, "You think that the man you call your father at home is your father. He is not. God is your father. And you answer to him." And I got up and he walked away. And all of a sudden you could see him shake. And he looked at the nun. He says, "I'm so sorry, sister. I hope I didn't interrupt anything." And he walks out of the room. I never saw him again. I had never seen him at the church. He was a young priest. I never saw him before. And because all the priests, they were old, probably 35 or 40. And that, to me, that was old. But that was the experience I had. And that was my message back, that you have a job to do. And you are God's child. You are God's child. And we all are. That's everybody. We all are. Why he singled me out, I have no idea, but that was pretty upsetting for me. Of course, I went home to my mom and said, "Mom, the priest just told me Dad, it's not my dad." So we had a nice talk, but it was a very interesting experience to go through and to have that reinforcement later on from having died to now being told who my father really was, and as it's all our fathers. There's no difference. But that was the experience. That was my first experience. Yes.
Okay, thank you. And next we will talk about your second death in the next video.
All right.
Thank you, Henry Noel. And could you provide your email address again?
Absolutely. www.
Your email address.
Oh, the email is henry@henrygnoel.com. And write to me.